low compression, soft, hard, distance, accuracy, control, feel, true feel. Does the golf ball that you play really even matter? In this video, we're going to find out. Let's get out of bounds. Hey y'all, this is Bear. This is Degenerate Golf. Thanks for joining me. A lot of 2019 really was all about discussions about the golf ball. But there was also a lot of news surrounding golf ball fitting. The My Golf Spy golf ball test really made waves in the middle of 2019. There were some quality control issues with Kirkland Signature and other brands of golf balls, and it really got me thinking. As a mid-handicapper, does the golf ball I play truly make all that much of a difference? Is there really any discernible impact between playing, say, what I currently play, the Tour BX from Bridgestone, or maybe something like the Bridgestone E6 Soft? Two very different golf balls with very different marketing stories. At my skill level, could I really tell a difference between these two balls? Comment down below. Do you think that the golf ball you play really even matters to your game? Alright, so what I really want to do today is I want to take my normal gamer ball, the Bridgestone Tour BX, and the Bridgestone E6 Soft, which I've never hit before. I want to take brand new sleeves of these balls. I've got my Skytrak, I've got my net, I've got my laser alignment, and I'm going to put them through a range test. Can I really tell any measurable difference between the premium or the Tour quality BX and the E6 Soft? All right, so here's what the test is going to be. I've got my Skytrak set up. I've got my laser alignment set up. I've got my brand new Tour BX and E6 Soft balls. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit driver, 7-iron, 9-iron, and then the 54-degree wedge, some pitch shots. I'm going to get 7 clean strokes from each one of the balls for each one of the clubs. Then I'm going to delete the top strike and the lower strike from each one of those groupings. So what we'll end up with is 5 clean strikes for each ball on each club. There might be a knuckleball there. Oh, it's going to fade into the flag a little bit. Get in there. Get in there. All right, so I'm done swinging clubs, and honestly, it took me a lot longer than I'd like to admit to get to 7 good balls on the driver for each one of those. But I'd like to give you my initial reaction to each of the balls. Honestly, at my skill level, other than the feedback off the club face, I can't tell a difference between these balls. I'd love to get them out on the course when winter breaks here and see how they react on the green. Because to be honest with you, with pitching wedge through to driver, they reacted the same. They looked the same on the Skytrak flight. The BXS, Tour BXS, has a harder and clickier feel off of the club face, which I like because that gives me better feedback. The ES Soft was hard for me to track. I didn't quite know how I hit it coming off the club face. Honestly, you know, I think the only thing we can do now is let's head inside and take a look at the numbers. All right, so what did I learn from this little test, my little experiment? Well, frankly, I don't know how much I learned. I don't know if I learned anything. I mean, not to my surprise, my Tour BX performed better based on the limited amount of shots that I took here compared to my Bridgestone BE6 Soft. But really, when it comes down to it, is that fractional gain for a mid-handicapper worth the extra $15 to $20 per dozen for the Tour BX as opposed to the E6 Soft? As well, based on your preference, you may find the feel of the E6 Soft better off your club face. So the first balls I hit were the E6 Soft, and when I'm looking at it from 7-iron down to the wedge, I'm really not seeing a lot of gains. Now, again, this is 7 shots per club per ball. So the sample size is obviously limited, but if you look here, the average ball speed for my 7-iron off of both balls were 119. That's pretty much similar. The average total distance was 167 for the E6 Soft and 168 for the Tour BX. Again, some of this is going to be predicated on my strike or my inability to strike, but look at the backspin. Backspin numbers are within 350 revs of each other. I would like for the backspin numbers to be around 68 to 7,000. So maybe this E6 Soft would be a better ball for the approach shots with a 7-iron. But if you look at the distances are essentially the same. Now, when we move down to these 9-irons, again, you see the same thing, 108 for the ball speed on each. The Tour BX actually gave me about 6 yards better in distance. I felt that I was hitting the 9-iron with that a little bit better off the face. Now, when you get down to the wedge shots, that's when you start seeing the Tour BX pull away. You see that the spin on the Tour BX is almost 2,000 or 2,500 revs higher with these little touch pitch shots than what the E6 Soft was. While they were both going out to the same distance, I'm getting greater stop from the Tour BX, which is what I like to see and what I like to feel around the greens, than I am with the softer E6 Soft. And I'm not one of those players that like to feel that soft marshmallow come off the club face around the greens. I like to hear the click. I like to feel the ball come off, so that even psychologically, it lets me know that I can manipulate it with my hands. And that's where you start seeing the Tour BX really pull away from the E6 Soft. So if we go over here and let's go over to the driver. What we see here with the driver is not unlike what I would imagine. We get a little bit higher ball speed out of the Tour BX, and we get lower spin off of the driver from the Tour BX. Based on those two factors, we're getting longer total carry yards, as well as longer total yards overall. So while the 7-iron and the 9-iron, these two balls seem to perform for me about the same, where I really see separation is in the wedge shots, being able to spin them higher from the Tour BX, that higher premium ball, as well as the driver, where that spin, especially in the BX model, where that spin is supposed to come down a little bit for somebody like me. I'm looking to reclaim some of my accuracy off the driver. I'm looking to shave off the side spin that will lead to the slices. You're starting to see separation there as well, because the ball speed is 2 miles per hour higher. The spin is 300 to 400 revs less, which is ultimately leading to a longer total distance in this cold weather for the Tour BX. So what's the answer to the question? Do golf balls really matter for a mid-handicapper? I think the answer is yes, it does matter, because I've learned a couple things just doing this test. It's not just about the performance of the golf ball, but also the characteristics about the golf ball that may be personal from one golfer to the other. And those are the 3 things that mid-handicappers really are going to have to decide for themselves which ball works for them. The performance, the personal characteristics of the ball, and third, the price point. Now, the Tour BX is $20 more per dozen than the E6 Soft, but for me, I'm going to trade that $20 for that extra confidence I get off the club face in terms of sound and acoustics and feel, as well as the performance I get from the driver and from the wedges. Will every mid-handicapper feel that way? I don't think so. I think a lot of people that are playing casual golf, a lot of people that just like to get out, are serious about golf, but maybe are not gear and equipment junkies. I think the E6 Soft and those $20 balls are going to work just as well for you as the Tour BX and the premium balls. And really, if it helps you enjoy the game more, I mean, that's all we can ask for. Thanks a lot. I think this has been a really interesting test. If you want to see me do more of these little tests from a mid-handicapper standpoint, comment down below. Let me know what else you'd like to see me do on the Skytrak or on the course. And let me know, do you think your ball is impacting the way you play? Do you think that mid-handicappers should be a little more considerate about what ball they put into play on the course? Comment down below. Hey, listen, this is Bear. This is Degenerate Golf. Let's get out of bounds.